Hey there, crafters. Welcome back to Gina C Creates. Today we're going to make these cute jewelry holders using our Cricut and my free SVG file available at ginaccreates.com. These open up from the back and have an insert so you can attach a necklace or a pair of earrings. This unique design is such an easy craft to make for Valentine's Day and add it to your gifts for somebody special. So let's get into the supplies you will need. I am going to be using my Cricut machine. I have a Cricut Maker along with a light grit mat, but you can also use a standard grit mat. Just make sure it's dulled out. And then I have 3 shades of cardstock along with some clear film or acetate for my window. And then I'm going to be using some Barely Art craft glue, a scoring stylus, and my Cricut scraper. My light grit mat I'm using, I actually got from Dollar Tree, and I just wanted to show you guys how it works. For $1.25, it is pretty good. It does leave some sticky residue on your cardstock, but it just easily wipes off. So if you're on a budget, it's definitely a good alternative to try out. So now let's get into the file. You can download it free from ginaccreates.com, and then it is a zip folder, so you will have to right click and extract all files, and then you'll get this open folder to work with. Inside you will find 4 art files with the free license. So we are going to be working with the SVG file, and this will include all the layers. But if you are on a Windows PC, it might display as an internet icon HTML document. However, that is the SVG file and it will upload to Cricut Design Space. So we'll just open up Cricut Design Space and find our downloads folder, and we will select that SVG file with the internet icon and upload it to Cricut Design Space. And once you have it added to your canvas, we're going to double check the size. The height should be 11 inches. So if it's not, just make sure your lock proportion is locked, and then you can resize it to the 11 inches in height. And then we are going to right click on it and ungroup. And we are going to select this layer right here. And you can select it on the layers panel and then use that arrow drop down. And you can see it is grouped with some score lines. So these are cut lines right now, and we're going to switch them to the score lines. And the layer underneath is the pocket layer, and you can select that and go up to the color swatches and change the different colors to suit your project needs or the theme that you want to go with. And I'm just going to go back to the traditional red, but I just want to show you guys that you can change the colors and customize it for yourself. And then we're going to select those cut lines, and we're going to go up to operation and select the score line. And then it will turn into a dashed line, and we're going to attach those lines to the shape underneath. So all you have to do is select the whole group and hit attach. And now those score lines will stay on top of that pocket. And then we have our scalloped frame for our heart, and you can change the color for that as well, but it's pretty much ready just to be cut. You don't have to do anything special unless you just want to change the colors. And for the other layers, we have the gray box, which is our acetate layer. And then we have our 2 jewelry holders. One is for your earrings, and then the other one is for a necklace or bracelet. And you can also change the colors of those as well. But other than that, this is ready to cut. So we are going to just save our project so we don't have to repeat our steps again. And then we're just going to select our material, and I'm going to select the light cardstock that's 65 pounds in weight. And then I'm also going to click on my mat where I have the scoring stylus, and I'm going to switch it because you can use the single scoring wheel or you can use the scoring stylus. And so I'm just going to change it to match my tool, and then we could start cutting. So the first step we're going to do is load that scoring stylus into our A-clamp so that's ready to go when our mat comes up. And then we are going to make sure our light grit mat is nice and clean. So just take your Cricut scraper and make sure it has all the debris off, and then we are just going to lay down our cardstock. I am using a scrap piece of paper that I used on a different project, so this project is really good for scrap paper like that, so you can utilize your material. And once that's cut out, we are going to flip over our mat and we are going to hold down the cardstock to the surface. And then we are going to pull back on our mat, and just be careful because this one is a delicate piece and we want to make sure that it doesn't rip. And then you'll just pop out any of the circles that didn't come out, and we will save that for later. And then we just remove our material and take that scraper again to get off any of the debris. And we're going to lay down our acetate, and we are just going to load that into our Cricut machine. And I still have it cutting on the cardstock setting, and it cut through the acetate just fine. And then we can save that little window piece for later. Next, we're going to cut out the whole pocket for the jewelry holder, and I'm actually going to switch out the color cardstock for pink instead of red so I can have a pink pocket this time. And you can load it into your Cricut machine and just cut it out. It'll score it first, and then once it's done cutting, you just flip it over and bend back your mat, and the cardstock will come off nice and flat. You don't want to rip it off because it may curl your cardstock. And lastly, we are cutting out our jewelry holder inserts, and this is for a bracelet or a necklace or for the earrings. And then next we can assemble it all together. So we're going to start with our pocket, and I am just going to fold over on the score lines. And you can also use a straight edge. It just helps you score your lines nice and straight and flat. And then next we're going to flip it over and take some craft glue, and around the heart window we are just going to apply some glue and get our clear acetate and make sure it's nice and clean. So you could just rub some soapy water on it and dry it off, and then lay it down in the center of your pocket. And while that's drying, you can flip it over to the other side, and we are going to add the heart scallop frame. So you just need little dabs of glue all the way around, and just make sure you don't put too much because you don't want it to come up to the sides, and you really don't need that much glue for that little frame. And then next you can just grab your necklace of choice or the gift that you're putting in there and put it through each of the circle slits on the side. And then to hold the rest of the chain on the back, you could just take some wrapping tape or packaging tape and tape it in place. I actually had to put a little bit more tape so I can hold the necklace in place. And then for your earrings, it has 3 sets of holes, and you can put it directly in the center, which is the bottom holes, or depending on your earring style, you can move it up to the second hole. And you can also use the window to see how it's going to look. So I'm going to go with the middle hole, and it seems to hold these cute bow earrings perfectly. And then we're just going to take the jewelry insert of our choice, and we are going to place it in the window, and we are going to flip it over to the back, and you're going to lay down each flap going clockwise, and that last piece you're just going to slip it in so it can stay closed. And for the earrings, it does pop out a bit, but for your necklaces or bracelets, they are going to shut all the way. So you just lay down each flap, remember, going clockwise, and then slip in that last piece. And you guys have some cute jewelry holders made with your Cricut for Valentine's Day. You can grab these free SVGs over at GinaCCreates.com and let me know what you think. And don't forget to like and follow for more Cricut projects.